We are seeing an increase in illegal immigration enforcement activity here in Maryland. This month alone, Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested suspected gang members in Baltimore and Montgomery County who either had prior convictions or were wanted for violent crimes in their home country. But a couple of cases that were publicized this week are gaining a lot of attention. WMAR 2 News' Elizabeth Worthington explains why.
ICE officials say it's part of a concerning pattern. Local law enforcement agencies refusing to cooperate with enforcement and letting violent criminals back on the streets. One of those criminals is Yonatan Flores-Arce from Honduras. According to ICE, he crossed the border illegally in 2019. He was accused of raping a juvenile in Ellicott City in 2023. He was convicted on April 29th of this year and sentenced to 15 years in prison. But a judge credited him for 193 days of time served, and he was released that same day.
Less than a year? Less than a year? I mean, I hope there's some reasonable explanation, but I sure don't see one.
Maryland crime victims advocate Kurt Wolfgang was shocked by this case, including how just 3 days after he was released, Flores was found to have violated his probation. He was arrested again and released again. But this time, as he walked out of the Howard County Detention Center, ICE was there to greet him. He's now in ICE custody under a removal order.
From the perspective of victims, we don't care why they're locked up, as long as they get locked up and dealt with. And if that's the only way in this instance, then that's a good thing.
ICE had lodged an immigration detainer against Flores back in January, but the county ignored it. That's because in 2022, residents in Howard County voted to codify into law the Liberty Act, which prohibits the use of county resources for enforcing federal immigration law. The Maryland State Public Defender tells WMAR 2 News, quote, "When an ICE arrest disrupts the state legal proceedings, due process is lost and justice is denied to everyone, the client and the community."
If he has a final order of removal, it's very possible that ICE can deport him before his case in state court. But someone that is convicted of serious crimes should face consequences, and ICE has an important role to play, but enforcement does not have to be cruel.
Baltimore County immigration lawyer Nicole Whitaker is referring to another recent enforcement action in Maryland when ICE swarmed a group of suspected illegal immigrants in Baltimore near a Home Depot. In a post on X, ICE said 5 arrests were made, stemming from a call to the agency's tip line.
I think what ICE is trying to do is publicizing these arrests, making a theater of it, trying to rile up their base. But what that does is it re-traumatizes immigrant communities. It pushes people into the shadows.
For the Flores-Arce case, the Howard County Detention Center says it can't comment on the circumstances surrounding his release. He's due back in court on July 25th for a hearing on the violation of probation, but the immigration lawyer we spoke to said he could be deported before then. In Howard County, Elizabeth Worthington, WMAR 2 News.